Inside this video right here, I'm going to talk to you about the exact pros and the exact cons of working as an EMT or a paramedic. Let's talk about it. I want to help decrease failure rates for NREMT, for EMT school, for paramedic school. Watch these videos, watch this content, and believe me, you will start to understand EMS medicine. Anybody out there that wants to serve their community as an EMT or a paramedic should be able to do that, and I'm here as the paramedic coach to help you achieve that. Hey everyone, it's Paramedic Coach back at you with another video. If you're new here, click subscribe down below and tap that notification bell. We do lessons, lectures, giveaways, quick tips. Everything you can think about in EMS is covered on this channel. And be sure to hit the like button, support what we're doing here, and make sure this video gets out to more people that are aspiring to enter EMS. Now, what I want to talk about in this video right here is the pros and the cons of becoming an EMT. Like me, when you first start off, you are not even sure of the difference between an EMT and a paramedic, right? So the first thing I want to talk about briefly is just the quick ranks of the ambulance. Then I'm going to dive into a pros and cons, okay? So let's do that. So the first rank in the ambulance in most states is the EMT. The EMT class usually goes for about 3 months, 12 weeks. You then have the advanced EMT program. That can go anywhere from about, again, 3 to 6 months, depending on where you're at. And then you have the paramedic program, which is usually about 12 months accelerated, all the way up to 18 months. And then they also offer degrees as well, like associate degree, bachelor's, depending on what you're doing. The first pro that I'd say about EMS is that you have your own work schedule at all different times. Maybe you like to work early mornings, maybe it's afternoons, maybe it's evenings, maybe it's overnights. You can work around an EMS schedule based on anything that you have going on in your life. Could be children, could be events, could be another job, could be school. That's the beauty of EMS. You can be in school, you can have another job, you can do anything that you want. Maybe you have a children issue there, right? Or a family issue there. Maybe you're a caretaker for someone in your family. I know people have that as well. You're able to work your schedule around where there's a variety of different shifts. There's 6-hour shifts, 8, 10, 12, 24, all kinds of shifts. So that, I'd say, is the number one advantage of EMS. It's not a 9-to-5 job. You actually get to be outside, okay? I think that's a big pro. Now, obviously, depending on where you're at, that can be a pro or maybe a con if it's really cold, okay? But generally, most people that are attracted to EMS do it because we get to be outside, in the field doing stuff, right? So you think about a traditional job, maybe you're in an office, 9 to 5. But you get to be more active, which moves into my third thing. You get to be active. So if you're somebody that likes to be outside, likes to be active, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen when you're at work. So when you sign a shift and you log in, you never know what's going to happen. You might have 4 calls. You might have 10 calls. You might stay late. You might get out early. You never know, okay? And the real EMS workers out there that are currently working know what I mean by that. You never know what's going to happen. So those, I'd say, are right off the bat some of the major pros. Another pro that I like about EMS is this, is you have a high level of responsibility. Now, if, again, you're someone that enjoys a high level of responsibility, you like to kind of be in charge, if you will, you're going to love this career, right? Because here's the thing about EMS. Now, I want you to think about 2 things. Okay, let's say you're working at a normal job. Let's say you're in an office, right? You're going to have a job, a boss going to be watching over you the whole time, or supervisors watching over you the whole time. See, when you work in EMS, it's a totally different atmosphere, okay? One, especially if you're in a department or a small town, it's more of a family atmosphere, number one. Number 2, is that EMS, you're on your own. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you're working on a private ambulance service. You have your ambulance for the day, and that ambulance goes off and you go post for the day. There's nobody watching you. It's you and your partner. There's no one looking over your shoulder, no one micromanaging you. It's your ambulance, it's your patient, and you go out and do your calls, and that's that. Well, the biggest con I'd say in EMS, obviously what people know about is burnout. But there are ways to get around this burnout. I have a video, a second video I'm going to link down below So I'll do the ranks one first. You'll see it it'll be the second link in the description will be the ranks. The third link in the description will be on mental health and EMS. So all these cons, I'm going to show you a way to battle them. That way we don't have the pros left. That sounds nice, right? So with the cons in EMS, we have provider burnout. And yes, you can get burned out. There have been nights, truth be told, I'll come home and, you wish there was something else that you could have done. Maybe a patient had a bad outcome. Maybe you even think that you made a mistake when you didn't make a mistake. It's just you tried the best you could, but the person has a bad outcome. We do the best we can EMS, but at the end of the day, it's not in our hands. We're there serving the patient to the best that we can do, and we get the outcome that we get. And it's hard to take that in sometimes for a lot of people. But that is one of the cons of EMS for sure is you can get burnt out. You can get a high volume of calls. Sometimes patients will disrespect you. Oh my God, yes. Sometimes people will disrespect you in this job, meaning that if you're calling, they've called 911, you get there, they're not showing respect to you. It could be a mental health patient. It could be a patient under crisis. You see people at their worst, which again, it can be tough to manage patients sometimes when you're seeing them at their worst. And again, for some people, that high level degree of responsibility with a high call volume can lead to burnout. Looking at EMS and the way that's set up, that would be really the biggest con out there. But again, I want you to watch that mental health video that I have down below. I believe that will take care of a lot of the cons, if you will, a lot of the burnout things, if you will. If you're not doing the action steps in that video, please go ahead and watch that video. Depending on where you live, could be the pay that you receive in EMS. But again, there's also a way to tackle that. So, for example, there are some areas where there's only volunteer EMS. There are some areas where the wage for EMTs or paramedics might not be what you think it should be or what you want it to be. That would be another con. Now, how do we remedy that? Here's what I want to talk about. And I'm going to put another video down below talking about pay in EMS. I'll link that down below. Check that out too. So you'll see all the links in the description. Now, what I always tell people is this. If you are all in on this EMS career, you are positive, you are driven, okay? You're that individual. You can find the career, the job, the place where all your needs are met, 100%. But you have to be willing to look for it. You have to be willing to get to that point where you're able to do that, okay? So like anything, like any job or anything out there, you gotta work for it to get the certifications, to get the experience, or you can get these kind of jobs. But you can do it because, hey, I'm living proof I did it. I was 19 years old as an EMT, had 9 months of volunteer EMT experience, and I said, you know what? I'm going to medic school. People thought I was crazy. Well, guess what? I was honors my whole way through medic school, and at 21, I was a licensed paramedic. Those same people were like, oh wow, this guy knows his stuff. And we continue. Working in healthcare, I'm actually going to give you another pro here. Working in healthcare is one of the most secure jobs out there. There will always be a need, no matter what happens in this world, for an ambulance. Always. Like hospitals and ambulances, a country could be in the most chaos it is in. There will need to be an ambulance. There will need to be a hospital. So the medical field is one of the most secure, people say job security out there. So EMS will always be there. Okay, the field is only going to grow. And the thing is, look at this trend line. If you look at what EMTs and paramedics were doing 20 years ago versus now, EMS is still a new field. EMS only started coming around really more into the communities, like doing more around the time of the Vietnam War. And then afterwards started to progress. They learned the lessons from that war to bring back here in civilian world. And that's how EMS started to really build. That's still young, my friends. It's still a young profession, my friends. So absolutely, if you're thinking about becoming an EMT, advanced EMT, a paramedic, take these following action steps. Watch the videos here on this channel. Get yourself educated. If you're getting ready for EMT school, advanced EMT or paramedic school, wherever you are, I'm going to link, the first link in the description is going to say learn more. click the link there and get prepared for school, so school is so much easier for you. If you take the prep course now, you have such a easier time in school because you have an awareness of it, and I'm here as your online instructor, okay? Now, third thing is this. We talk about the burnout and any sort of pay issue that may be in your area. The burnout video for mental health is down below. Please watch that video. It will help you if you are burnt out right now or you need help in this area. And number 2 is fine with the pay. My advice to you is this. You want to get as strong as you can with experience and certifications where it becomes so apparent of the value that you bring to an organization. Show up on time. Do great work. Take some extra shifts. Get certifications that others don't have. Go all in on this profession. And believe me, when you're looking through for these best jobs and candidates, that'll be you. And you can achieve your dreams. You can do what you want to do. That's my mission for you here. So those cons, don't worry about them. Take care of them and take care of yourself. My friends, I will see you on the next video. Much love. See you there.
Like everything that you were saying was just connecting all these links inside my brain, and I just knew right then and there, I have to have this program. I have to have all the information that he's willing to give. I need all of it.
I went through it. I spent the time and money in other areas, and I'm just gonna let you guys know that this was everything I was searching for the whole time. The first couple of videos I watched, when I noticed it, I just immediately started connecting dots on some of these things I didn't have grasp.
Went on there, then I continued reviewing, and I did it for about a month, and it helped a lot. Like I said, even after school, and I took that test one time, and I passed it.
Your particular program, you have your students engaging, and you have your students discussing, and you have your students actually using your products. And I'm seeing time and time again students that are coming in and announcing their new certification with National Registry.
Results, obviously passing the exam, doing it pretty quickly, 70 questions in about an hour.
Well, you definitely are like how your videos are. Like, I wasn't sure how it was going to be, but you are how your videos are. So that was awesome.
So people who are getting ready for paramedic school, or if you're getting ready to go in the Navy as a corpsman or as an Army medic, you want to prepare yourself. Evan, I know you got a program that helps people prepare that way. So bottom line is, guys, you don't ever want to hear something for the first time with a bunch of other students. So if you're in a competitive learning environment, you don't want to hear about AFib for the first time where everybody else, you want to have an understanding of it before you walk in the room.
From 120 questions, passing 2 sections, near passing 1, and then I think 2 below passing, to 70 questions passing completely.
$7,000 for school plus everything else that you put into it all the time, and all the time off work and family and everything. It's to see people fail and fail and fail and then just quit, which I know a couple people who have. I tend to say, it doesn't hurt to have somebody right there to talk to, send a question.
Anytime I get the chance, I will gladly offer or advise them to sign up for you and your paramedic coach. It's truly helpful and amazing at what you do.
I want to help decrease failure rates for NREMT, for EMT school, for paramedic school. Watch these videos, watch this content, and believe me, you will start to understand EMS medicine. Anybody out there that wants to serve their community as an EMT or a paramedic should be able to do that, and I'm here as the paramedic coach to help you achieve that.